This is Sam Vaughan for Sam Sports Report. Today's date is May 4th, 2026. This is Sam Vaughan. The Royals sweep the Mariners after getting another close one game last night. Yesterday. The Royals have been winning the close ones lately, something they were not doing earlier to start the year. The Royals grades obviously an A+ for the last 3 games, but what was it before that? The Royals are 15-19. The Guardians are 18-17. Royals play the Guardians. Tanner Bieber will go for the Guardians. And Michael Wacha will go for the Royals. In the last game, Wacha lost 5-2 to the A's. He looks to rebound tonight on their grade.
They are sitting 3-2. Of course, Sporting Kansas City 2 plays a little bit later tonight, so yeah.
At least no losses between the Current and Sporting, and that really hasn't happened much so far this season, but we'll get more to that in just a little bit. All right, guys, let's dive in with our first question of the night. What is your Royals report card through the first month of the season? Jack, we'll tee this one up with you.
Look, we can acknowledge that they've played better baseball over the last 9 to 10 games. They're getting better performances from their top stars like Vinny Pasquantino and Salvador Perez, who really struggled in the first month of the season. But also we need to acknowledge the expectations that were set by the players going into the year, which was they got to make the postseason. They expect to win this division. And though they're only a few games out of first place and a few games out of the playoff spot, they're still 4 games under 500. It's a good sign that they are playing better baseball rolling into May, but they're still 4 games under 500. Give me a C+ right now. Want to get in that B+ range, though, going into June.
Average seems fair. Nate, where would you land the Royals on your report card?
Yeah, as a professor, I'm going to be very lenient on this collection of ball
Professor
players.
Taylor, we're going to have to start calling you that already.
Yeah, because I'm going to include this weekend, right? Because without this weekend, I would have said this was a D based on the expectations that Jack mentioned earlier. So I'm going to give you a little bit of extra credit. Hey, nice sweep, right? Salvi was safe, as we see here. So I'm going to say C- because if you look at your classmates, the Kansas City Royals, no one else in the American League Central is doing well either. So you're only 2.5 games back. We're going to grade on a curve. You're not failing, but you have plenty of time to improve. So C- is the correct grade, as I would say right now.
Daniel, I know fans said higher expectations for the start of the season. Where would you kind of throw the Royals in the mix right now?
I'm just going to put them at a C. I'm going to go in between the 2 others. Look, this team is kind of sitting middle of the pack in terms of OPS. They're sitting kind of lower middle of the pack when it comes to their ERA. Ultimately, they got to hit more. They got to get on base more. They got to get more runs across. This is not a pitching staff that's going to be like the pitching staff of 2015, 2014 Royals, where you can expect to maybe put up 4 runs on a night and get a win. They got to score more runs, but I like the trend that I've seen. The bats have started to wake up, especially this last week. I think there's something to that emotional comeback win against the Angels on last week. A win like that just does wonders for confidence, and you've seen it throughout the rest of this week.
All right, so month of April, we're going to mix all this together. Probably a C average, much more like an A average to start the month of May with the sweep over the Mariners. We'll see how they finish out the month in a couple of weeks. All right, question number 2, guys.
The Cardinals took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. The Cardinals, they've been playing well as of late. They're surprising 20-14 and will play the Brewers tonight. The Brewers are 18-15. Chad Patrick will go for the Brewers and Kyle Lehey will go for the Cardinals. Game time 6:45 from St. Louis. The Reds are right with the Cardinals and the Cubs tonight. Edwin Cabrera will go for the Cubs, and Chase Patty will go for the Brewers. The Cubs were picked to be in first place, but instead it's the Reds. First pitch, 6:40. Now moving on to the NBA. In the NBA, where the roll of fourth Game 7 from the Raptors against Cavs came, but it wasn't the Raptors this time coming in on top. Instead, it was the Cavaliers, 114-102. Jarrett Allen gives the Cavs 22 in a career high game. That was last night's game. And in the NBA, Tonight, it'll be the 76ers and Knicks. 76ers and Knicks. Players to watch out for: Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. For the Sixers is Joel Embiid and Tracy Maxey. And that game tips tonight at 7. And then at 8:30, Timberwolves Spurs. Players to watch out in that one: since Anthony Edwards is out, Julius Randle is the player to watch out for. He averages about 21 points a game. The Spurs are the heavy favorites, and this game tips at 8:30. We did not mention last night's score of the Pistons winning over the Magic 116-94. Despite the Magic taking the game 7, it was a blowout in the game 7. 116-94 as the 1 seed beats the 8. And in the NHL, the Hurricane play the host, the Philadelphia Flyers, and Sebastian Aho will be players to watch out for the Carolina Hurricanes. For the Flyers, players to watch out for: Travis Koichi, their top offensive player. He's Gradians scores. Owen Tippity is an emerging goal scorer with strong speed and ability. Face-off is at 6. The Hurricane lead 1-0. The LA Ducks and the Las Vegas Knights. Cutter Gunther is a player to watch out for the Knights, and Jack Eacher is a player to watch out for the Ducks. Jack Eacher is a player to watch out for the Knights, and Cutter Gunther is a player to watch out for the Ducks. Face-off is at 8:30. This series is game 1. Chiefs at training camp. Their new head coaches are at practice, with some of those names being Eric Bieniemy, DeMarco Murray, Chad O'Shea. Defense, Terry Braden, Nate Piagan, and CJ Cox. The Chiefs are rumored to get Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City. And that is Sam Vaughan Sports.
All right, our final Timesers question is from Jacob71. Nate, what Chiefs storyline intrigues you the most heading into the season?
Well, Nick, thanks for the question. I would say it's the receivers, because for all the talk leading up to the draft about Cornell Tate and Jordan Tyson, the Chiefs did not take a receiver in the first, second, third rounds at all, even in the fourth. So it's really about Chad O'Shea, the new wide receivers coach. What can he do to improve Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, and Tyquan Thornton, who's now, surprisingly to maybe some fans, the number 3 receiving option after Hollywood Brown went to the Philadelphia Eagles. So we all know Patrick Mahomes is coming back from the knee injury, but how well does his receivers do to help him out in the upcoming season? That is going to be fascinating, and how well the receivers do might be a real early indicator as to how well the Chiefs do on offense, which could lead to obviously what their record is if they're actually trying to compete for the AFC West crown once again.
And is Jeff Caldwell going to be this year's Justin Ross? I mean, they're wearing the same number.
I mean, he's tall, guys.
He is tall.
You can throw him slants like 4 times in a game. He might catch them all. He's very intriguing. So yes, look for him in the preseason. We'll see how much of a camp darling he is during training camp.
It's been funny to hear Chiefs Kingdom talk about the comparisons, mainly because they also have the same number, which he probably didn't even have a say in that matter.
I don't think.
Nonetheless, you're getting the Justin Ross comparisons. It's not your fault, Jeff. All right. Well, Jack.
Let me go to the college baseball ranks. Kansas baseball, they're 27-3 in their last 30. They're 21-1 in their last 22. They should be hosting a regional, and maybe they could be hosting a super regional if they get that far.
Absolutely red hot. Nate, Professor Taylor, sorry.
It's the NBA playoffs. Please, for the love of God, watch Victor Wembanyama, because it's incredible. And we're hoping for a clash between the Spurs and the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. But Victor Wembanyama, worth the price of admission and watching him on television.
From Salvi and all of us here, slide into the week.